I've been struggling with a question. Can this sort of art be made without knowing where it's going to lead?
That one big question has been keeping me out of the studio because I can't make a plan. I can't sketch it out first. I have to let the pieces speak to me, find me as I find them. Today that changes. I'm not gonna let myself flounder any longer, but it's not gonna be easy. I know that I need to set aside some serious time, so I've blocked my calendar, banished my husband, and I'm gonna set myself up for some intense quiet time with just my notebook, glue, scissors, and my papers. So I start off by looking through my pre-cut pieces. First, I look at the small bits, and then I move on to my larger pieces, which I've saved in a separate file folder. Unfortunately, despite my efforts to attack this project head-on, I am still stuck. And I stay stuck for a while, just flipping and flipping, looking and trying, but nothing is speaking to me. I can't imagine doing anything with any of these pieces, and it's driving me crazy, because I know that there's good stuff here. It's not the pieces, it's me. I'm the problem. And you know, it's not until I create this horrible page that the floodgates kind of open a crack. I've already made something awful, so the only way to go is up. The pieces finally began to speak to me, and that's honestly just another way of saying that I have finally gotten over a bit of a mental block. I'd been passing over this eagle a few times now. It seemed too big to use, but then I remembered one of the backgrounds I pulled out of my file folder. The angle of it suddenly felt like a perfect pairing for this guy. It's worth mentioning that the question we started off with, can you create with whimsy alone and no plan, is an important question for specifically this kind of collage. This collage is a cut and paste style, and in practice, it feels more like going on an archaeological dig. The bones of your creative work have to be in the pile somewhere for you to discover them. And you can arrange those bones into a new body of work, but you can't really decide ahead of time what you want your collage to be. Right now, I'm working on getting this eagle integrated into the scene. So I slipped the wing behind this center elevator shaft thing, and I cut around his head just a little bit so that he can have one wing behind the elevator shaft and his head peeking out in front of it. And as much as I tried to be careful, I did sort of mess up on the placement, but it's okay because I didn't really rub the eagle down very hard, so I was able to lift him and reposition a little. I feel like this collage needs some sort of interaction. Interaction between your pieces is going to ground the work. Make it feel as if it's a cohesive body rather than a collection of disparate parts. And you know where else interaction is super important? Here on this channel! Hey! While you're here, like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And to my awesome Scrap Squad members, I want to give a huge shout out for your support. It means a lot to me that you're here. Thank you. So even though I'm feeling better and I feel like things are going well, whenever I start to feel a little bit stuck, I switch back over to my notebook and I let myself try out other ideas. Giving yourself space to play and experiment is a key aspect of building your confidence. You can let your mind wander and try out silly placements. I found myself making these simple little compositions with these Better Homes and Gardens vignettes and adding these women's faces into the scenes as if they were sinking into the spaces. I honestly got kind of obsessed with this and made several examples, but it wasn't wasted time. You can take those ideas from your notebook and expand on them in a different way, which is exactly what I did in my final collage. I was so inspired by these vintage ladies, I knew that one of them needed to be flying with that eagle. Warm-up time is something that I often forget to prioritize. I'm often rushing into the studio trying to come up with full-fledged compositions in whatever little time I've allotted myself for that day. But with continued practice, I'm learning more and more to take that time seriously and build it into my studio time more effortfully. Effortfully? And now, because of that warm-up time, we've made it here. And yet it's still missing something.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
According to my usual method, I'd probably say we've got our 3 key elements: background, subject, and the third piece. The third piece is that thing that sort of ties all of them together and creates a story. But you could also argue that the bird and the woman are both together as part of the subject of the piece. So what's missing? I think that the answer here is going to be different for different people. I think it would be fun to play with the fact that the woman in the claw looks totally relaxed, and I want to lean into that silliness, so I think it could be funnier if I add words. Words can be really effective in literally spelling out what you're going for, which might suggest that maybe the composition itself is not strong, but I like words. I think they're fun, and I think it's fine. Use words if you want. Real quick update. Here's my painting. I'm trying to make this for my husband. He is colorblind, and I know that he can see blues really well, so I posted about it like 2 weeks ago. It still kind of looks haunted, but I think I've done a little better on the face. I don't know. It's really hard to do your own face. Like, I kind of think I know what I look like, but I realized I really don't know what I look like. Like, you should have seen the lips I put on this thing at first. They were large. And I don't know if you've seen me. I don't have big lips. So, yeah. The proportions just seem a little off. So, if any of you in the comments have any ideas for what is wrong with it, I'd love to hear it. I think it's closer, but it's not right. Anyway, back to the collage and finding words. Eventually I land on these words about travel. I think that they imply that this is a transportation poster of some sort. It's very tongue-in-cheek. I don't know, I think it's just kind of silly. And if it wasn't obvious, I think that the answer is yes, we absolutely can make art without knowing where it's going to lead. It just might take a little courage and patience. Okay, I think that's it. Bye!